What is up, my dude? My computer desktop seems to be looking a bit different than usual. I seem to have lost track of time. It happens after all. Time dilation really is a thing. You play a game for a couple of days and next thing you know you're Employee of the Month. But you know how it is. After all, there's only work for wicked people like you and me, and no sleep for either of us. Welcome to Heretic's Fork. Here's the setting. Hell is filled with sinners, and no one has time to list the proceedings anymore. There's just too many of us people. The list of sinners is approaching Santa's shopping list. We are more modern people, and so processing sinners fittingly takes setting in the hell of a corporate office job. Just imagine the fact that you can spend up to 8 hours a day working in a cubicle, only for you to finally end back home where your only mortal wish is to do the exact same thing for your entertainment. This is what the big suits call gamification. It fools your zoomy receptors into accepting everything from spam email and scammers to invasive corporate oversight as long as you get to do one more run in Heretic's Fork. To begin, you pick your character and try to survive. Fittingly, as a manager from day one, you are paired with a day one intern which also plays games as a Discord kitten in her free time. Honestly, she gets paid enough from other people's salaries, so I wonder why she's still here. But such questions are not permitted. Corporate doesn't like questions. Then you hit play and are greeted with a selection of cards that you know nothing about. Doesn't matter. You can pick anything from this list and wing it in the first few levels. But if you want to follow my steps, pick Sunder and Unholy of G. I think they're pretty good. Then you're greeting with this beautiful screen. This is all you will ever get. There is no camera, no movement, no fancy moment-to-moment gameplay, just the center of your screen, the UI, and the power of your intellect. You are to protect the tower in the middle. The sinners come to you. If they reach the tower, you take damage. Take too much damage and, well, you know the rest. Kill enough sinners and you get to draw some cards. This is where the fun begins. Some cards are items which upgrade your towers and get shuffled back into your deck. Some are towers. Combine two towers with the same rarity and you will get one that does the exact same thing but better than the other two combined ever could. And some game cards are too powerful to be left alive and get burnt by one use. You with me so far? Great. Take a look over here. This is your bread and butter, the heart of your spire if you will. Don't like two cards? No problem. Gamble them away and get yourself a random one that is 1 tier higher. Don't like that one either? Well, I've already told you what you need to know. You know what to do with it. But what do you do if you run out of cards to gamble? Well, don't worry. Every time you draw your cards, you get rocks. Rocks are almost completely worthless, but combine two rocks and suddenly get yourself a better card. What rocks you don't upgrade, you banish to keep your deck dead. Don't be afraid to banish cards. You will always have more. Once you make it through the ring of limbo, you're into lust. Complete the 9 rings and you win a singular round of Heretic's Fork. The game doesn't bullshit you, but it doesn't babysit you either. Good luck out there. After one shift has passed, you earn cash. This is very important because not even hell can function properly without the power of the dollar. Now we all know where the government subsidizes always end up going because it sure isn't in the hands of the people. Unlock better cards with better towers and better upgrades and more upgrades for better characters and your armory will grow. Here's what the characters do. Ruby does absolutely nothing besides encourage you to wing it. The locksmith can use the banish slots to keep the cards from one turn to another, provided that you have the energy. Denny can redraw her hand if you haven't played anything. Nia will sacrifice half of her current health to draw one more card and gain 2 energy. This is incredibly broken. This dude plays with rocks. Greasy plays with money. And probably my favorite character, Gilbo Gibbons, plays with fate. Why stick to the norms when you can break those rules entirely? Why worry when you know what is coming? Just gamble it all away into nothingness. The process of luck is not easy. It doesn't care whether or not you're in the desperate position, but it is deterministic. Pick 2 cards out of 3. Chances are that you manage to pick the best card out of the 3. Not only because you have a 66% chance of getting it, but because your 33% chance of picking the best one otherwise is lower than the aforementioned 66. You know what my favorite card in the game is? Double down. 70% that you get something good, 30% chance that nothing bad happens. I like those odds very much. 50% chance that you double your next card for free, and 50% chance that you get 7 luck and increase your odds on subsequent rolls. Towers may not scale with your luck, but your drops will, and with enough luck, anything can be yours. Guildbow might be for the insane, the mad and the unhinged, but when I stack 10 high roller cards on top of each other, every other gamble that I take ends up in a win. There is only one character that can allow you to experience the joy of having maxed out every one of your towers from the first level before the game has any chance of throwing its enemies at you, and that one is Guildbow. His lows might be the lowest, his rounds may end up in ruin, but when your luck is at its best, you become an unstoppable force. Story time. What's it called when someone dies and gets reincarnated? Rebirth. What's it called when someone is killed by somebody and then reincarnated into something else entirely? Redesign. One day, I finished one round only to see the background of my desktop be overwhelmed with save files that were the souls of other employees. One day, I received an email from management telling us that the souls of the employees were bound for a redesign, and they had escaped. They unlocked the trash can feature for me to use, and I promptly disposed of them. One day, employee Danny Fox was having a mental breakdown, and she was feeling unmotivated. So, I sent her save file to the void of the recycle bin. She's been very motivated ever since. Once you start winning a few of your runs, you might notice some changes around your admin folder. Oh, what's inside that folder? Don't worry about it. Let's just say that management is taking notice. Good work never goes unrewarded. And in typical fashion, at some point you will get to join management and unlock your torment level. They noticed you are winning a little too easily, and so they have reserved better shifts for you and yours truly. Here are the levels. Torment level 0. Nothing is changed. This is the default level of difficulty. Torment level 1. Sinners have 200% health, and this might get some time getting used to. Torment level 2. Sinners also have 200% increased movement speed. This level is based because you can only advance if you draw cards. You can only draw cards if you kill your enemies. Enemies which will come running at you much faster. After being able to manage the first level, I consider the second level of Torment to be the minimum required difficulty for me to do my runs at. It's either this or developing a brain tumor that will make me run the entire game with cheat engine at 3 times the regular speed. Torment level 3. Sinners also get a 50% damage reduction to a random type of damage, which will, of course, randomly, 9 times out of 10, be assigned to the one type of damage that you are currently using as your main form of DPS. Torment level 4. Not only do the sinners run fast, as each torment level has the disadvantages of the previous ones, but now they also spawn 2 times as fast. What is the problem with this? There is no amount of towers in the game that I currently know which can survive the second wave. I have tried all the possible combinations and even had 2 level 5 towers stacked on top of each other as I entered the 3rd level. There is nothing that I haven't tried, and I don't know what to do about it. Don't mistake this game as being for casual people, as at this difficulty, it is anything but casual. Level 5. Let me tell you another story in the meantime. Once, I got contacted by a scammer. He said that he will get rid of my malware problems for some credits. He gave me 100 credits to download a file that will make my screen glitch out because the file was named malware.data. Then he demanded that I give him all of my money into his Bitcoin account. I took the malware file and put it in the trash can, which incidentally removed all of the virus. Then I received an angry email for taking 100 credits from them and then another link that they demanded I click for them to get it back. I ignored them and never responded. Instead, I spent more time than I'd like to admit playing the Pong minigame in order to prove that I am a real gamer. All the while, I was listening to this game's incredibly diverse soundtrack. There is a lot to listen here, and it fits the overall aesthetic of the game very well, seeing as we're in hell. For the small price of €3, or in my overinflated country, the price of half a kilogram of chicken, I got 4 tracks from Disturbed added to my list of music. But more importantly, I got Reckless Nia, whose damage increases up to 100% based on her missing health. I don't think it's pay to win, but I've never won harder. In conclusion, you should get this game and give it a shot. I got it for under $10, which is the equivalent of 1.5 kilograms of chicken or about 3 pounds in American.